I've just felt so overwhelmed and so out of my normal body that I finally feel like a year later after that failed transfer, like my body is back. I mean, is it too soon to talk about this?
You're listening to Your Porch or Mine, where everyone's welcome to pull up a chair, share their story, and hopefully leave laughing at life's beautiful mistakes. I'm Diana Suarez Mucci, your host and your friend who's ready to listen, right here on Your Porch or Mine. I'm so happy to see you.
You, Mom, your hair looks great.
Okay, so thank you. I'm so happy to have you. I just want to say thank you, my love, for inspiring me, even to start this podcast. I know you weren't like, you have to start a podcast, but you were super encouraging. And I've just seen you on your journey of how you're so open with people and so, transparent and authentic. And you've always been out there telling your story. And I'm like, you know what? I think I should do the same thing, So thanks for inspiring me and being my first guest.
No, I'm so excited and happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and being first guest is the biggest honor.
Oh, you're so beautiful, and you're wearing a really cute outfit.
Yes, this is new PJs. Who makes it? Oh, you know who makes it? Barefoot Dreams. It's the PJs I got you.
No way. I love those.
So cozy. It just makes me so happy. So
it's cozy and still fancy. You can I don't know, go somewhere with it. Go to Publix.
Go to Publix. Or Walgreens, I mean.
This is where we love to go, to Publix. In Florida, putting a shout out to Publix to everybody out in Florida.
To Publix. I'm going to miss it.
How was your day?
It was good. I had acupuncture, and actually the intention of this acupuncture is to prepare my uterus/ovaries for either another egg retrieval. Of course, always we're hoping for natural pregnancy or the embryo transfer from the embryo we have left in Chicago. And I've just been really feeling like I want to go more simple after 3 rounds of IVF and back-to-back medication, and then the hysteroscopy with the transfer to remove the polyp. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah. And then the transfer that failed, I've just felt so overwhelmed and so out of my normal body that I finally feel like a year later after that failed transfer, my body is back. And I don't want to, I mean, is it too soon to talk about this?
No, we're just having an organic conversation. I love it. Here's the porch, right? Just pick up wherever you are. It's not scripted or anything. So yeah, talk to me. You've been through so much. That was a really long journey. And as your mother, watching you go through that, it's painful. You're just painful to watch your child go through something like that. And just how can I help you? What can I do to be there for you? That's hard. So
I love you.
I know. I didn't think I was going to cry. Talking to you already. I know you've been through a lot. So I just want to be here to support you. And I know it's hard to talk about, but I love how you're so transparent and you share your truth with everybody. But sometimes, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's not the right time. So, but yeah, tell me. I want to hear about it.
I love you.
I love you.
You were there for me so much during those egg retrievals and the transfer and everything. And I don't know what I would have done without you and Dad at the house and just everything. So thank you. And I love you so much. Even though I am transparent about it, only up until a certain point, because after I shared my story for a whole year in 2024, I just needed a massive break, because even I'd say actually the hardest part was the compassion from people. When the transfer failed, everybody was so hopeful for us. They wanted it just as much as me. I literally felt that. People were sending me messages about the blue butterflies like, oh, and I was just recording, I'm recording a course on this. And I was telling my story just in the beginning of the first course module. And yeah, that level of disappointing other people, like I felt the disappointment for us.
Right.
I also felt it in having to give everyone the bad news. And so strange,
wow.
but it just felt like there was too much. It was almost like I had this like collective, I don't know, people that wanted this outcome for me. And I felt so like I had a lack of control in the outcome that I knew that if I just kept going, I might disappoint them again, disappoint myself, and feel like crap. Like I just needed a break.
Right. I can't imagine. I mean, there's like it's double-edged sword, right? That you're being vulnerable, sharing your story, and then everybody, I didn't even think about that. Like you're actually disappointed. Like maybe it's a collective sadness that everybody.
Yeah, I feel
Oh
like
gosh. Aw.
I know.
I'm so glad you took a break, though. I know you needed to take the break. I was happy to see you do that.
I finally found fun again. And listen, I did pour myself a glass of red. I don't need to drink without you.
Well, here I have
This
beet
is role
juice.
rehearsal. I'm normally the one with the beet juice. You're normally the one with the red wine.
I know. This one, I have to say to our listeners that I was going to get a glass of red wine. And at the hotel, they have a strict rule of no, they don't open the bar till 5. And I'm like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So anyway, cheers. Cheers. Let's do a little toast.
Okay, fine. I'll have a lip
I know you're not
wetner,
supposed to toast.
as my husband says.
Wait, what does he say?
He says, let's have a lip wetner, which is like, just have a sip. It's basically a sip.
Love it. Okay, cheers.
hon. Love
cheers
you.
to us. Love you. I know, I wish it was wine, but I did have some wine yesterday. Almost too much watching the Bears game.
They lost, I heard. I didn't watch the OT because I went to bed.
Oh, man, we
it?
were crushed.
I said to David, I was like, the Bears are killing it. They're going to kill it. They're doing great. He's like, since when are you so into football? Because we've been watching it this weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've had other lives before you, okay? Like, I've been watching football for years. Just because I don't watch it right now in our marriage, in this stage of life, does not mean I didn't watch football. So, no.
Ooh, I love that. Now that you said your other life. Wait, right? You had another life? What was that like?
That was the New York City life. Murray Hill, Midtown, was dating someone else. And I said that, and then he went quiet. That was the end of that conversation. So, yeah. So
hilarious.
that's funny. But yeah, that was my New York City life. And then now, so we had our Chicago life, which was me raised by you until I lived at home until I was 17 and then leaving.
Tell me about that. Because you left at 17, not like you were like, I'm leaving home. You graduated high school 1 year early.
Thanks to you, because
I didn't do it.
I know, but
took all the classes.
You really, I feel like you pushed for me to be in chorus though. And you wanted me to stick with it. I don't remember me just sticking with it by choice. Did I?
Oh,
I feel like each time it was like, do you want to renew? And you, right?
I do feel like I was encouraging you to stick it out in chorus because you have a beautiful voice. I don't know that your fans know that about you, that you were in chorus, that you took voice lessons in high school. Yeah. So yeah, because of chorus, all the chorus classes that you took, you were shocked when we went to the counselor and she was like, "Oh, wow, you have all these credits. You can graduate now." So you graduated early and you went to Spain. You went to Spain, you lived in Australia, you lived in New York and Florida. Like,
I know.
what have like those places that you've been, like, first of all, what was your favorite adventure?
That's such an us question. That's such our family question. It's a legitimate question though. It's so good. Because this is hard because forever I used to say Spain because truly that of my younger years, like high school, that was like, if I could write a coming of age movie, and you and I love coming of age because you taught me all about coming of age. And still to this day, I love coming of age. And I will watch coming of age movies by myself because David's not really into them, but sometimes he'll get into the TV shows because I watch like teenage shows.
You're still young. I love them too, though. I don't care how old you are.
I know.
Right?
Because it brings me back. It's a transporter. It brings you back into that time. And I will never forget that trip in Spain, that year in Spain, and how it's just made such an impression on my life. It changed me.
How did it change you?
It was literally those times in life where there's a before this and after this. It was a before Spain and after Spain. Before Spain, I was a bratty, annoying little teenager. And with love for my former self, I was just insecure and I was upset. I was mad at like boys and not having things I wanted. And like, it was just like kid mentality of not having enough, you know? And probably just like a lot of like different things, and being distant from my siblings, being rude to you and dad. I mean, to think that that's how I was then to how I am now just blows my mind. But that was all intentional growth, because I honestly could have just sat in that and continued that energy. And it did take me time to get through it, as you know. It wasn't like after that trip, I was never that way again. I was messy still throughout my 20s, but
I think in that short time, I think you're so right. There was a before Spain and after Spain. We were just so funny. We were just talking about it with Renee. She was like, Antoinette was really different in high school. We were talking about siblings and siblings getting along and loving each other. And then she says, in the beginning, like when you were in high school, you were kind of, I don't know, wanted to be with your friends more. And when you came back, you were like, oh my God, I love my sister so much. Do you remember that?
Oh my God. Well, I remember feeling my heart break at the realization that I had caused a rift between us. And I felt so much pain. I remember just being in heartbreak and then being in our room. And I asked her, can we talk? And we both sat down on the beanbags in my room with the purple walls. And I said, I've had an experience in Spain and I realized I just really want to be close to you. And I cried. And I remember being so vulnerable. And I don't know, did you tell me to do that or did I just do that? I can't remember.
No, you came back and you were really different. I loved your bohemian self. You had like a nose piercing and a tattoo, and you were really like free loving and so different. And then I think you did say, Mom, I think we talked about it. And I said, talk to your sister, talk to her.
Yeah, I think you did. I feel like you encouraged me to do that.
Yeah. But what was it in Spain you think that made you think that way? Like, what was the light bulb moment? Was there an aha moment, or was it the whole thing? Or
I'm trying to think if I had met sisters or something where I saw a relationship, but honestly, I don't think I did. I want to say that I missed my family. I missed you guys so much. When you dropped me off and you gave me that Coldplay CD, really shows how old I am. I listened to that Coldplay CD every single night to put me to sleep for that 2 semesters. And I cried myself to sleep when you left. I missed you. And I was a biatch to you. And I still missed you. Teenage hormones are so messed up.
They're so terrible. It's a tough time. Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was so funny. Yeah. Well, maybe that's what it is, right? That you just missed her and missed everybody, and you came back with a newfound appreciation.
I did.
For everything. And I think, I feel sometimes it makes me feel bad, right? Because my mom was like, I can't believe you're sending your daughter to Spain. And I'm like, oh, I'm so terrible. What a terrible mother. And I missed you terribly too, so much. But I felt like one of my dreams was to to have my children be educated in Spain, to learn the language, the culture, to also see differently, see the world differently, like through a global lens where I felt like we were living in a bubble and I just wanted to burst the bubble in a way that would expand your mind forevermore. I feel like that did something for you and the rest of your siblings, but for you was really dramatic change.
That's the greatest example of mother's intuition being spot on, and your intuition and how well you knew me and what I needed. And it was something that rocked my world. I saw the world for the first time, and you were right. I remember when you said you live in a bubble, and I was like, what is she even talking about? She wanted to move here. Like, she moved here. Why is she now saying it's a bubble and it's bad? Like, this was her dream. And then I was like, I went, and then I got excited to go when we had decided I was going. And then when I got there, and then I was homesick, and I remember counting down the days till Thanksgiving till I would see you guys.
Yeah.
And then after that, like counting down the days for winter break. And then I was like in my stride going back, and I was excited to go back to Spain, but I was homesick. And yeah, your intuition, and you have a superpower where I've been noticing this more lately. You know when to move on something. You're very good at saying, just do it. Go for it. No, and like drawing boundaries. And I think you're very nice in other ways where you don't do that, which you and I've talked about. Like, you have such a powerful edge, but you only use it in certain situations, like motherhood. And I say that to my clients. I'm like, you're a mom. You can tell your child, like, I've seen your force with your children, or like I've seen it with you. So I know how powerful you are. It's like not, you know what I mean? It's like so easy for you in motherhood, at least from what I remember and feel today, because you still do that for me today.
Do I? I hope it's not overpowering. No. Sometimes, as a mother of adult children, I feel too very careful. I don't want to overstep a boundary. And maybe this is the question, because I feel like I know you so well, but sometimes that's annoying. That can be annoying. Like, oh, you think you know me so well, but I know you so well. Or, I mean, all of you. I don't know. Mother knows best. Is that even true? I don't know.
I mean, you don't do it with me that much. Maybe your other kids.
Like, wait,
working with them. But I feel like you don't, when you give me guidance, I really appreciate it. And I don't feel like it's too much.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that that's the same for all my siblings. And I also don't know if you give them the same amount as you give me. Because I think that relationships with your other kids are different too.
Right. No, that's true. You're right. I think there's maybe a level of a different relationship with mother-daughter, which can be complicated. It's super enriching and wonderful. And then I do feel like I maybe have a little more of the runway with you and Renee to say things, I don't know, than I would with the boys. Maybe I'm trying to be more careful because they're men,
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, I think so you're saying it's a good thing? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I would say it's a superpower for you. And yeah, I mean, not everybody is always going to receive any sort of suggestions or advice in like the best way, but been very useful for me in my life. And you're right. I think as an adult, you don't give it to me as much as you used to. But like, you probably hold your tongue with
Well, you want your children to kind of find their way, but also I think you also want to protect them. So I feel like I want to protect you and save you from making decisions that I either did, like I know better in not everything, right? Like my parents are in their 80s and they'll tell me something. They're also careful with me. They're like, they tell me something and then they're like, well, they don't want to overstep their boundary, but there's wisdom that comes with age.
Yeah, I see that.
So Spain and also Australia, did that change you, Australia, your year there?
It was a very fun year with new experiences. You being there, going to China with Dad and my brother David. Actually, Dad came twice because he came with Renee, and then going to Thailand. Like, there was very cool, like, Australia was very unique. It was definitely, a stamp on your passport that's kind of more exciting than the average trip,
Yeah.
But it was not as pivotal as Spain was. It was almost like Australia was the end of it was like Spain was the beginning of my young adulthood. Australia was the end. And then I moved to New York and like started adulthood.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that's it.
I've never thought of it like that.
That was hard to you live so far away. I really missed
so
you.
Homesick.
That was really hard. That year was hard because it's not as easy to get to. You're so far away. The time difference was just like night and day, and literally.
And you and Dad got divorced that year. I remember.
Yeah, that was a tough year.
Me,
oh my God,
to say that the divorce was final, and I remember crying. Not that I knew it was coming. It wasn't
right.
A surprise.
Right. Oh my God, you've been through all of
it
my
was still
ups and downs.
Yeah.
That was hard. I know that was hard. I know. I feel like you were mad at me. That was a tough time.
I was mad at you.
Yeah.
I don't know if all girls do this, but I feel like I blamed you. Now I know that that's not true, that I misplaced my blame. And you, as a mother and an example to us, had to set a boundary with an unhealthy relationship. And I admire you now for that. Because that must have been, I know how hard that was for you. And that must have been so hard for you all those years where it was almost out, back in, almost out, back, like separating, not separating, separating, not separating. And
yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
who are you going to do that episode with?
The ups and downs with me and your dad. Oh my God. That's a long story. When you have a family, having 4 children, we started so young. We had you when I was 20. We got married when I was 21. I had you at 22.
Yeah.
And then had 4 kids right away and went to university. We went to school. We were, renovating homes and
I know.
Starting our careers in our 20s. Like, it was a lot.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know how you guys.
It was a lot.
How you did it because you're like overwhelmingly positive. But that could be the only reason now.
Yeah, no, but it's life. It was my journey. And I honestly, as much as I feel terrible about, and I think parents out there who are going through a divorce and, have a family, and it's a really tough decision if you're like, whether I stay or do I go, and all the lives that you impact in the good way or not a good way. It's just painful. A breakup, a family breakup is so painful. And there's a lot of grieving. And then I think we try to keep moving forward as if we're all okay. And it's not, because the family changes, the dynamics change. It's like the kids have to like, oh, where do I go now for Thanksgiving or Christmas or just all that. And, yeah, that's a whole nother episode. I'll bring you back for that one.
We should bring Renee for that too.
Maybe Renee too. Yeah. That's an interesting. It's hard. It was hard for everybody.
And that Michael was in Australia, which was just nuts.
Yeah, Michael was a senior in high school, and he was the last of the Mohicans, and everybody was gone, and that was hard for him too, because
poor Mike.
It was just him and me, and then Dad, and then it was poor guy. I was teaching him how to cook, and like it was hard.
How to cook?
Yeah, I taught him how to cook that year too.
That was meant to be, Mom, because he loves cooking.
Yeah, he does love cooking. He's my partner in crime in Thanksgiving. You guys all are. You guys are amazing.
But like Mike,
but Michael loves cooking. Yeah. Well, we had, he was a senior and had a girlfriend in high school, and they'd come over and I'd show him how to make some pasta. And like when I wasn't home, this is what you should make. And he listened because he was, he was a 6 foot, almost 6'5" kid that was hungry. If I'm working, I can't. And so that was maybe a year where we it was sad, but we also bonded. But yeah, divorce sucks. It just does.
You've had pivots and rebirth. Like, you want to talk about mine, but you definitely need an episode about all of yours.
Yeah, we will. We will. That's definitely
Everybody loves when I tell them your story with dad. The fact that, well, first of all, I think it's potentially every little girl's dream, or maybe boy too, or regardless of gender, to have your parents together, especially when you remember those years so well. And because you guys didn't fully separate till I was 24. So,
yeah. So you had your whole life with your parents.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
We weren't like screaming, fighting with each other. It wasn't that kind of a relationship. There's things that, were going on that we would like put under the carpet. But yeah, you guys, I waited.
Everybody's always known that you and dad were meant to be, though. That's kind of the weird thing about it is, I think for other people that get divorced, there's a clear line. Okay, it's done. That makes sense. And that's better for them.
Yeah.
You guys, I just never felt that. And neither did anyone else, I feel like. I think some people convince themselves that you guys were better off without each other, maybe. But I don't even know.
I think we were so young and we went through so much. We were married 25 years. And then we weren't. But then we stayed friends. And then there were always moments where we'd we'd stay friends and then go back together and this is great. And then it wasn't. And then just all the ups and downs. But, in the end.
Leaving on the cliffhanger.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
So for your listeners, my mom comes on my retreats and everyone's always asking her, what's going on
with my life? Yeah, my marriage
life. And
yeah. Speaking of love life, tell me about yours.
My husband, oh my goodness, he's so cute. He left for London today.
Oh, no wonder I don't see him back there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I wanted to sit on the couch because I knew I would have the house to myself. He left for London for a week with his new job. And because of his new job, we're moving back up north. We're leaving Florida after 5 years, 5.5, actually almost 6, because we moved here in March 2020. So March 2026 is around the corner. And yeah, I was honestly thinking today how much I love him, how cute he is. He's such a good guy, and he's just such an amazing life partner and hubby. So
he is great. We love him so much. He's such a love. From Ireland all the way from Dublin. And you met in New York. I want you to tell me how you met. I think, for people that are single, you were single for a while in your 20s. And I would love to hear that story again. A different perspective, maybe, because you dated some interesting and wonderful people.
Interesting, yes, and wonderful, yes.
I'm not going to say one or the other, but they weren't for you, but
they were great for the time being. And each relationship, I believe, creates anew within a person. You learn about yourself, and you learn also how to be better. So by the time I met my husband, I had messed up a few times. So I learned how to be a nicer being and kinder and warmer. And actually, we met at the perfect time because we met in 2017, and lucky for him, I was going through my yoga. I had just finished my yoga teacher training, just finished my coach training. Oh no, it was 2018. Sorry. I don't know why I always mess that up. 2017 was when I started my coaching business. So by the time I met him, I was super zen. And you and I both know that the younger years, I was not that zen. And I was drinking like crazy, which caused all sorts of arguments because I was not a person. I now know how to manage my alcohol and handle my moods. But back then, I could not handle my emotions at all. And I would drink to where I would get very emotional. So anywho, that lasted, from 17 or 19 to 30 when I met him. Because I saw a meme on Instagram that was laughing about how, in your 20s, it's all about boys. You're at least if you're single, right? You got married at 22. So
21, but yeah.
21. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I know some people do get married young, but maybe in this day and age right now, 2026, most people are meeting their partners in their 30s,
Right.
at least in bigger cities. So anyway, yeah, that was me. I didn't know when I was going to meet someone. We met on Hinge, and dating in New York is like awful. Like it's just, there's a lot of ghosting that's happening, or at least when I was dating, there was a lot of ghosting happening. Guys that would act serious, but that weren't, and girls that would act serious that weren't. You know, my friends would be like dating and not really into it, you know? So anyway, I didn't have a lot of faith in the New York market, but I had a feeling that I would find my husband in New York, and I was living at the time. So every time I would go back, I would open my Hinge like, I wonder. And he chased me down. He called me yoga girl, and he still calls me yoga girl. Even though I don't practice yoga as much as I used to at all, sometimes he's like,
really?
Yeah, he's like, yoga girl. Where's yoga girl?
Where's that?
I'm like, I meditate, teach. I just don't practice. He's like, catfished.
He's like, what happened to yoga girl? But you were also, when you started your coaching business, you were inspired to do that with a really pivotal moment in your life. And you went from party central, dancing on tables at the club. But I think that was a really big change in your life. You want to talk about how that came about?
I mean, I was at the beginning of the wellness movement, really, because as a millennial, I guess that was the wellness sort of like crazed, obsessive type of movement was starting with like programs like Soul Cycle. And then the green juices started popping up. I remember Juice Press was the first one. And I had met the founder with Renee at Dirty French randomly. And he was such a nice guy. I thought he could literally be my mentor. I never asked him though. But I still think about that because he was a huge yogi and he was very grounded. And I was like, wow, this guy's a badass. And then when I took yoga training and coach training, it's funny because I used to say I was an extremist with drinking and partying, but honestly, I was an extremist with spirituality and yoga too. And quitting drinking, it was like I used to take things from 0 to 100, and then I continued to take things from 0 to 100 until I was like, probably like this last year, even IVF, I've done 0 to 100, infertility 0 to 100, like, you know.
That's interesting.
I know.
Well, it's true. And it's opposite end of the spectrum. You went from party 0 to 100 to like zero partying and then 100% into yoga and wellness, which is so good. I mean, I'm glad. I love that you have a balance. You have found a balance. In my opinion, I see you have grown so much from the 0 to 100. And I know the IVF thing is interesting too, because you took that all the way. When you really want something, you just go for it. I mean, there's great things about that too.
I know. It is one of my positive qualities, but yeah, I also think that there's a shadow side to it, but I'm aware of it now and I notice it more. I'm just now at this point trying to find more equilibrium and not so much believing that like I have to go all in to something to such a big level.
What do you think that is like that you have had?
Genetic? No.
Yeah. Is it your mother? That mother of yours.
That mom, whoever she is. No. I mean, it's funny. I haven't actually thought about this with any therapist or anything. I just came to me now. So, I mean, I knew about the extremism with yoga and spirituality because I've had that. It's been a quiet epiphany because I like to sit with things for a while, but it definitely hit me in the last couple of years that I just went too far. I do think it's a little bit genetic, Mom.
Do you like just the drive of doing something, not going all in?
And also we have a little bit of that in our family, like Grandma Felicia being all in, obsessed with,
Right.
she was obsessed with health. She was obsessed with God and
Right.
religion.
Religion. And it's a whole nother thing, like to try to figure out like what is genetic and what is learned behavior and what is partly you. It's a combination of things, you know, like your tendency to, like, some people have addictive personality types. Somebody could be like, I'm addicted to smoking, drinking, and gambling. And then people dive all in there. And sometimes you can see that that's genetic too. But we could look on the bright side of going all in on something. I have a day job in technology and their theme is all in. So it's really positive. It's a good thing. And then if you could find a balance, like there should be work-life balances, you know, work-life, spiritual health and wellness, you know, finding time for yourself too, like that whole self-care thing. We didn't have that when I was raising a family. Nobody ever said the word self-care in the same sentence. There was no such thing. Like, I love to see that, you know, the young people today, like, have those boundaries and say, I'm going to spend some time taking care of myself. Where mothers, me and my siblings and, you know, my sister-in-law, all we did was like the kids had better clothes than I wore. Like, you guys all had better outfits, and your hair, I would take you to get your hair done before I got my hair done. Like, it doesn't, now it's like, it's interesting to see that shift in people being more aware, and mothers also, not just like, just in general, right? Adults, take care of yourself first, you know.
Totally. It is still so hard for moms, though. I have to remind my clients all the time, you know, and help them find that balance. But
yeah, you're great at coaching them. Tell me about your coaching business and how and why you got into it. I would love for you to tell that story. I mean, if you feel like it's something you want to share about your business and, you know, how is it going, and tell me where you're at with it and maybe how it started.
Well, I was raised by two very positive people. And even though I had the bratty side that we talked about growing up, I was also an optimist, and I would cheerlead people, and I would be really hyper and silly and goofy to lighten the mood. I would, you know, find myself in kind of a leadership role, whether that was helpful or not, in friend groups, you know.
You were like the leader of the pack.
Dictator or leader, however you put it. You know, the perspective, whatever. I just always had a thing for Tony Robbins, like, believe, like, this guy has this job where he's positive. And I remember you and Dad had these motivational books in the house growing up. And I remember you talking about Napoleon Hill and you writing in your journal, and Dad having journals in his room, the money guy that he loved, the mad money guy or whatever.
Mad Money, yeah. He's still around.
And then, so these were things, I think, in my subconscious. They weren't things I was actively seeking. And then I remember at 16 years old, a friend of mine, Christy, her mom was a yoga teacher, and she gave me this book called Happiness. I think it had a pink flower on the front with a blue background. I still have it somewhere. And it was the first self-help book that I was given. So I would like or I'd look at yours and Dad's and kind of admire them and not really know what they were. But this was one that it was like easy for me to read. And it was more like Buddhist driven. So I remember that. And then fast forward to when Dad was sick and I was working at Guilt Group, having the time of my life. And then he got sick and everything stopped. And I started to question my purpose and my habits and how I was living and if I felt fulfilled, which I didn't. And I started to research coaching programs. I feel like I was in the hospital room and I was looking up coach programs and I was talking with you guys about changing direction. And anyway, with your full support, and my parents did help me with this transition. Dad helped me financially, letting me stay in his place in Florida. And just being given that permission and having the support of my family, I felt like I could actually do it and succeed. And then Renee getting laid off at the same time as me pivoting, like that pivot and us creating together was amazing. So
Yeah, that was a major plot twist. That was huge transformation.
yeah.
So it was like your Spain transformation. And since then, how many years has you've been really in the coaching world? Like 8 years?
8.5 years. This will be my 9th year. And then started my training in 2016. So insanity, but also amazing and hard. I mean, I chose to be an entrepreneur and it has not been easy. But I've had the joys of working with incredible women and hosting retreats and doing what I love. And we were talking about this, I know, before about art and how you're a writer through your playwriting and storytelling that way. My outlet, I really strongly feel, is like teaching, curating programs to help growth for people, whether that's personal growth, professional growth, even now doing more leadership work or coming back to leadership work, because that's how I started, was in leadership and like sort of leadership and spiritual. And then now I feel like I'm 90% leadership, 10% spiritual, but it was just so, it's just amazing. It's just amazing that I get to do this. I love it.
And what I admire so much about you, and just having seen you through this career change, and it's now, I just see it as you. You are so gifted in how you approach people, and very creatively too, and very artistically, but just with this genuine love and care that you have for your clients that have become your friends now. It's like you have this great circle of friends, but also clients. And I see, you know, one of the first retreats that I joined as your mom, but also as an attendee, right? I met these great women, and you're still close to them today, and you're helping one of them, or you have helped all of them. Anyway, I just feel like you are meant to be here to do this and to be your mother and watch you live your dream and your purpose every day, and that you haven't given up. And it's so hard as an entrepreneur, like to get those moments you're just like, oh my God, am I going to make it? Am I going to do this? Or should I just go and do the 9 to 5? But you have stuck it out, and I'm so proud of you. And it's like, wow, the Lord, you know, I'm spiritual, and I believe that we're all here for a reason, and we have to find our purpose. And I believe you found it. And it's like, Lord, you've given me, I was the vehicle by which you brought this beautiful soul onto this earth to do something so great. And the lives that you have changed, and you do this every day. I'm just like overwhelmed with like awe and wonder at how you can be my child. Honestly.
You're so sweet, and I love you.
So true. And I'm trying not to cry, because you know me, I cry so easily.
I know.
Oh God, do it. I can't. I won't do it. I say I won't do it. I mean, anything that you want to share like that would be great for, and I want to say this, like, because you have such a following, and people listen to you and admire you too from where they are. They know you differently. What would you say to them, like, about who you are that maybe they don't know? I know you're vulnerable all the time, and most people know most stuff about you, but maybe there's something that they don't know, and I'm going to make you share it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. First of all, Mom, thank you so much for saying all of that and saying you're proud of me and everything. It just means so much to me, and I'm so glad we have this on video, and to keep it forever. So I love you so much.
Yeah, I love you so much too.
And I've gotten this a couple times, actually, maybe twice, because people know me online. They don't know me in person. And I've gotten a lot that I'm more chill than they thought, or more relaxed. I think it's not that I'm not relaxed online, but I do feel like some of my video content is a bit performing, because I'm reading a script with the goal of sharing something or a message. And one thing I'm trying to be mindful of is to have more of an authentic presence. But I would say I'm more chill. And then I'm probably more goofy than I show online and in my work. And I'm actually let that side of me out more in Joshua Tree. But
Did you?
I did. Yeah. I had wine.
Oh, that's so fun.
I actually, whether we keep this in or not, I literally smoked a joint with Dana.
Whoa. Now that, wait, okay.
Never
So
thought I
that
would
would
do.
be, yeah, that would be something that your people don't know.
That I would never, like, there was something that came over me. I think because I've been so authentic these last couple of years where I was like, yeah, actually, I'd love to have a drag of that joint right now. So
Wow, that's
one of my
big
clients,
review.
I have this really fun side that's kind of crazy, kind of back with my, or maybe not crazy, but just playful, fun, goofy, like lets loose. And because she's very much in my 20s, I'm trying to reintegrate her back into my life right now. But, you know, she's definitely more like rare. You know, I don't show that side even to you guys as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I love it. I love that. That's a great reveal. I think that people will be surprised to hear that.
I think I shared it on social
Yeah.
in a post.
Thank God it's
Like,
legal now.
yeah, I know. It's legal.
So it's not like
We're
you're
in California.
confessing.
No.
Yeah. Amazing. I know it's like when you're with David, your husband, he gets so excited when that side of you comes out.
I know. He really does.
He loves it.
He loves
He's
it.
like, oh, we're Antoinette.
Well, I mean, this is something that people I feel like don't know. I grew up in a Latin family. We're Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
The culture that we have is very fun, playful, light. Like we love dancing, having a drink, being loud, you know?
Yeah.
And that doesn't really go with this more grounded presence where I hold like space for my clients or I'm facilitating something, you know?
Right.
So you do that too,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I mean, there's a time and place for everything,
Yeah,
right? To
yeah.
like, show up and be present in a way the way that they need you.
Right.
So they need you to be a certain way. And then there's sometimes you just like, it's really fun to just be you. I mean, we're multifaceted, right? I even said that earlier, like I'm so hyphenated.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I wear every hat on the planet. Like if I could be a construction worker, I might do that. if it just, I don't know, if it means creating something. What's that?
Just to switch hats, switch it up.
Yeah, just another hat. It's going to be a hard hat this time, but
I don't know if your knees could handle that, Mom.
no. First of all, a very terrible physical stuff. But anyway, yeah, like I see that to have multiple sides of yourself, to embrace that, I think is really great that you could embrace like all those aspects of yourself and not be judgmental about you. Mm-hmm. Because I think we tend to be really hard on ourselves for being a certain way. And you're like, oh, I overdid it.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have had that last drink. Or maybe I shouldn't have been so loud. Or, maybe I showed too much of myself. And we beat ourselves up over stuff like that, I think. And, maybe it's because we care too much about what other people think. I don't know. Sometimes I'm guilty of that, like, oh gosh, I can't,
Yeah.
you gotta behave.
You definitely are.
I usually don't behave though.
Yeah, that's true. You're more fun than I am. You let your fun side out more often than I do, but we both have the like, oh wait, don't say that. Or, I'm very PC and
Right.
I watch what I say and very cautious.
Who are you most yourself with?
Well, my family. I was going to say Renee too. Renee. But Renee and my husband and you and Dad and even my brothers. But also David says this. My husband makes fun of me and says, oh, the cool sister's out. Like every time with my siblings, I have like a cooler. I'm like, hey, like I'm like, with my
what's
with
up?
kittens here with my cousins. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? What are we? They're all younger than me too, so I'm like the older one trying to be cool still.
Yeah. I see that. I see that when we have family gatherings, like we had Thanksgiving. It's hilarious. Like you were the one making the cocktails.
Right, I know. But I really wanted a project like that, and I'm excited that I did that because I've been into hosting lately. That's kind of the retreat vibe too, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean, you made
hosting, creating an experience.
yeah, you were great. Super creative and everybody was loving your little cranberry little
Yeah, with the
just
rosemary and the
very
cheese.
yeah, very fancy cocktails.
Yeah.
But I love that side of you. I love when I see you happy. As your mother, all parents want is for their children to be happy.
Yeah.
And I see that you have grown to be this amazing, wonderful woman who is genuinely, no matter what is happening in our lives. And there are some really sad moments that you're experiencing even now. You just lost your father-in-law. So, and a year and a half ago, your mother-in-law, like there's a lot of sadness, right, that comes with life and these terrible moments that you're just like, it's a lot of loss and grief. But I see you genuinely happy. And in spite of those things that are happening in our lives, when we have those moments, that you have this aura of happiness. And as a mother, I'm so happy to see that my child is happy and thriving. And you have a beautiful partner in David. And I love the things that you're doing together. And I know that your journey has been long with the IVF, but I know God has a plan for you and David and your family. And, we're just giving you positive vibes and lots of love.
Thanks, Mom. I love you. Thank you so much. I feel so grateful that we had this chat, and I've been gifted enough to be your daughter in this lifetime. And thank you so much for all of the amazing, sweet things. You're so complimentary. Didn't even say that the other day. He's like, wow, you guys are so complimentary. But you've always been like that. We have a words of affirmation family, and I'm just so grateful because I love you so much. I'm so excited for this podcast, and you're always
Thank you.
creating, and that's so inspiring.
Thank you.
You inspired me to record my course for Infertility Crew.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to use the podcast credit that I had, and
Right.
so it brought it to my head. I'm like, why don't I just do it? But that's
Amazing.
so mom energy. You is like, just do it. Come on,
Yes,
let's go.
Yeah, and by example, I'm like, I better do it too. The one thing I want to do, I want to say, not to toot my horn, but when you guys were really little, you inspired me. You were so adorable, all four of you. You and Renee, when you were really little, I would read you books. You guys made the bedtime into this ritual, which inspired me to write the Snugawinks of Cuddleton Falls. But the ritual, and I didn't write this like in it, but it was like you would start up and saying, "Can you read me a story?" And then I'd read you the story, and they're like, "Can you tell me a story?" And then I'd tell you the story, and then you're like, "When you sing me a song," and sing you a song, and then it just kept growing. And then the next time you'd be like, "Okay, you read me the story, tell me the story. I want you to sing me the song, but then I want you to like, can you tickle me?"
I remember that.
Yeah, and I would. This was just my thing with you and your Renee, and then David was really little at the time, and then finally, then I did like a tuck and roll, and then I'd roll you into your pillows, roll you to bed, and then tuck you in, so it'd be tuck, 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 and at the end, it just became a ritual. So every night it would be this long bedtime of like 20 minutes.
The best.
And now you're in my Snugawinks, like Nettie. You were Nettie in my Snugawinks books.
I love Snugawinks.
And thank you so much for that, for being the inspiration for that. Always.
Thank you for being. We're so funny. We're like, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you. You're amazing.
Welcome, Mom.
You're welcome for me giving you those ideas.
No, thank you for doing all of that. I remember that routine and the It's just so sweet. So
Yeah.
cute.
You inspired that with your
memory.
all your great you wanted to just prolong bedtime. You're like, I'm not going to bed.
But the Snugawinks books are amazing and everybody needs to buy them. So will you have them?
Oh, yeah, that'll be a plug-in. What's that?
You'll have the Snugawinks link in the show notes.
If anybody wants to put their kids to bed, please check it out.
Perfect.
I have it. Yeah. Thank you, Nettie.
Oh, I love you, Mom. Thank you so much.
Your Auntie Nettie now.
Special. I love you. I'm going to remember this forever. I'm so glad we have this episode now.
If today's conversation made you laugh, think, or just breathe a little easier, share it with someone you love. Catch the podcast wherever you listen and follow me on Instagram for more. Remember, the porch is always open and there's always a spot for you.